a mission, solving mysteries in the night. Chasing shadows, finding answers, shining bright light. No one's left behind, in the darkness all alone. With a heart like a siren, she brings the lost ones home. Silent cries in the dark no longer have to be. For justice wheels keep turning, granny on the beat. Broken voices find their power, call out hope again. When Granny's crime busters run, no victims left in vain. Bravery in her veins, truth she won't disguise. With a fire in her eyes, she's got nothing to deny. Granny fights for justice, never backs down from the call. For the voiceless and the missing, she'll stand tall.
Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing today? Hello, Michelle. Oh, hon. I always put a post up. So always go to my community page if you don't see me live, because I usually will tell you. Hello, Ginger Girl. Valerie, hello, Ariel, hello. Good to see you guys. And those who are out there in the bushes, good to see you. We are going to get started with our spotlight on the missing. If I can get it to show up. Come on, work with me here. There we go. All right. So, a Florida Amber Alert has been issued for Azon Turner, a black male, 3 years old, 3 feet tall, 32 pounds, black hair and brown eyes, who was last seen wearing a khaki shirt, khaki shorts, and black light-up shoes with red trim, and Akachi Turner, a black male, 11 years old, 5 feet tall, 72 pounds, black hair, brown eyes, who was last seen wearing a black shirt, black pants, and high-top Fila sneakers. The children were last seen in the area of the 1200th block of West 6th Street in Riviera Beach, Florida. The children may be in the company of Audrey Turner, a black female, 5 feet 5 inches tall, 180 pounds, brown hair and brown eyes, who was last seen wearing a black tank top and cream skirt with black stripes. Audrey may be wearing her hair in a ponytail and has a nose ring. They may be traveling in a black Toyota sedan with front end damage. They may be with an unknown black female traveling to Georgia toward the Atlanta area. So, if you have any information, don't hesitate to call 911 or the Riviera Beach Police Department, 561-845-4123. I'm going to share my screen so that you can see Audrey's picture here. Okay. This is Audrey. I'm assuming Audrey is the mother. I don't know, but she must not have custody. And then an unknown companion, a female. So, anybody in the southern states evidently sees Azon or Akachi. I can't remember those names, but okay. Azon and Akachi with their mother, Audrey. Call 911 or the Riviera Beach Police Department. All right. That off of there. Let's not forget about Jonathan Wang. Last potential sighting was a month ago in Kirkland, Washington, guys. Jonathan is 21-year-old autistic male. He does present as an 8 or 9-year-old. Mostly his interaction was with his immediate family, so he really does need to be home. If anyone sees him, call 911. Let's not forget about our buddy Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. $500,000 reward, guys. If anybody sees him, knows anything, please, please, please call 911. Travis Decker is still out there. We don't know if he's dead or alive, but he needs to be found. I'm sure that his ex-wife would like to have some peace in her heart. He's wanted for taking the lives of their 3 little girls. So he's wanted for 3 counts of first-degree red rum and first-degree kidnapping for taking the lives of his 3 babies seen there with his ex-wife, Peyton, Evelyn, and Olivia. So that guy needs to be found, in my opinion. All right, so where are we at? Hello, Rob. Good to see you. Prayer Warrior. Hello, hello. Brenda Joe. Hello, hello. Chemistry Queen. Hello, hello. Osprey. Hello, hello. Good to see you guys. Bernice. Hello. Welcome in. So we are continuing our discussion on these precious babies seen here, Jack and Lily. And I know it's an older photo, but it's when they had happier times, because God only knows what they went through in that trailer in Lansdowne Station. The more we learn about what those children went through, the more my heart breaks for them. So I like to put up a picture that shows happy times, happy times. And this is one of those times with their grandma, Belinda. For those of you who may not know, Belinda is their grandmother on their dad's side, paternal grandmother. So, so I was watching Mike Demand today, and I thought, you know what? I just stopped and I thought we're going to react to it together, because he's talking about how Daniel went back to the pipeline and his friends helped him. So I don't know, guys, right? I want to hear what this is all about, right? So we're going to go ahead and listen to that and discuss it together. All right, I have to get this off of there. You won't be able to see the video. All right.
Back when we picked, okay, here we go. Let's nitpick.
So confused because people have been asking me so many questions, and it's just, I don't know how anybody
can keep their story straight when they're lying their asses off. I know you can't. Some people can, but not many. Right. You don't know anybody how, not in your family, that's for sure. That's for very sure.
that has been interviewed keep everything straight. I think the little things get twisted and everything.
Keep it straight, huh? Keep it. What do you keep straight? Sorry. The truth, the simple truth, and nothing but the truth. You don't have to keep straight.
Nothing but the truth. Thank you for coming a member, 007. That's awesome. We're glad to have you in the family. Let's see right here.
Granny Danny's got a plan with a twist and a flair. Crime solving secrets in a rocking chair. A family bound tight with capes and a clue. Now you're one of us, we believe in you. Welcome to the team, the squad, the crew. Chasing down chaos like we always do. Grab a magnifying glass, put your game face on. With Granny's Crime Busters, the thrill's never gone.
Welcome to all our new members. I just gave away 5 new ones as well. Ratchet Panda, hello. Runs with Scissors, hello. NYC, hello. Hoping I'm not missing anybody here. Appreciate you guys. All right. You're welcome, 007. Thank you. All right, let's get back to Mike here.
You can tell it 1,000,000 times. And it's going to be the same experiential memory guide in you. So the same statements. I think little things get twisted. Little things. No, they're big things. Believe me.
But you got to understand, we're all under
Now she's teaching us. You got to understand. What do I have to understand, Janie?
a lot of pressure here.
Oh, yeah. Daniel told us, dude. Oh, all the stress. you know?
Hello.
All that stress.
All this was put on us.
All what? Your property is the crime
Casey
scene.
Wood, good to see ya.
And you gotten rid of evidence by raking. But you think nobody can figure that out, even though you told us.
Or especially on Daniel, because Malaya's not opening her mouth.
Yeah.
And Daniel's taking all the backlash for this. So if it was Malaya if Malaya opened her mouth, just how much backlash she would get.
It's funny, but my daughter always says, so? When she's arguing with her mom. So?
So you got to cut Daniel a little slack here, guys. He did not use the ATV all the time of the search. It was me and Justin.
I don't have to repeat it, right? I told you, I showed it already.
And as I said, we picked Daniel up on an old road. We went up the pipeline, Justin and I did, and we picked Daniel up on an old road.
Got you.
So Daniel did not use the bike. The only time he was on the bike is when we picked him up on the road.
You picked him up on the road, but
Why does she call an ATV a bike? I never heard them called bike, quad, ATV, 4-wheeler. Never heard them called a bike. Interesting. Hello, Anna. Good to see you. Yes, her voice is something else, isn't it? I try to not do too much of it at once. We talk a little bit in between, right? I was wondering what old road too. She didn't say, did she? I was kind of wondering that myself. But let's listen and see if she tells us.
he was at the pipeline directly searching there, right around where the footprint was. And further along the pipeline, he was searching right there where he was driving that night.
And believe me,
I don't.
It's my 4-wheeler, and believe me, I don't let Daniel drive my 4-wheeler.
I don't let Daniel drive my 4. You see, now she's being an actress. Now she's trying to. Why? He's so irresponsible? Really? That's new. That's also a little bit of leakage right there.
Somebody said it's due to insurance, but I think that's funny, right? I don't know.
But, now you're putting on the act of the, trust me, that night, you didn't care. Because he had to get 2 little buddies off the property.
Let's call it a bike in Nova
And
Scotia.
that was your priority, to make sure that your home was not going to be looked at as a crime scene. That was your only concern.
I don't know,
except when he, really has to do something that he can do best. And I guess he did, because so far I haven't heard of from anybody who had seen or claims to have seen. I mean, in the Sebastian Reuters case, there were so many claims about what neighbors saw what, but well, it's so isolated up there anyways, but still, he had some way to travel. But I think he knows exactly where he can maneuver and not be caught by any of the cameras. But it's, of course, very interesting. The cops, they wanted to know from that neighbor with the 20 cameras. They were hoping to find something, but I guess on those particular cameras, in those particular areas, there was.
Did she let him drive it that night, I wonder? And so now she's saying she doesn't let him drive it. I mean, I don't know. Right? It's all speculation, but it's just a thought. Because a lot of times I'll say, oh, no, I don't ever let him drive that, or, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it'd be interesting, it's come back later that they said it was about insurance, but I don't know.
Nothing.
Wheeler, believe
me? No, I don't. You told me twice. The more you tell me, the less I do believe you.
And yes, he is telling the truth. The bike did have a wiring problem because.
What does it have to do with anything? It's drivable. You and Justin drove it. Why are you mentioning this?
The mice get into it and chewed all the wiring off of it.
Oh, what? I must have missed it. Did Dad actually pretend that the ATV couldn't have been driven or something like that? I don't know. But I wouldn't doubt it, that he would make it sound even less likely for him to have driven it that night. You see, Daniel always comes back to the topic that is sensitive, actually. The same thing he wants to avoid, he's always coming back to. And Janie the same way.
So that's why it wasn't used neither until it got fixed.
What, did you fix it on the 3rd or on the 2nd or when? You just told us you used it the whole time. How much would it have taken to fix it?
Fix it on the night of the 1st?
There we go. Like I said, guys.
I've been looking at the comments, and if you guys have anything wrong, don't get mad at me, but I will correct you guys.
Exactly, Ratchet.
If you go back at the screenshots that Malaya sent Belinda.
Man, they should only invite the right people to comment and ask questions.
You will find the time of when Malaya told Belinda what time.
When Malaya told Belinda, listen to this. I don't know what's about to be said, but I can tell you there's something here.
Neither until it got fixed. I've been looking at the comments, and if you guys have anything wrong, don't get mad at me, but I will correct you guys.
Yeah.
If you go back at the screenshots that Malaya sent Belinda.
And they're paying attention to everything. Remember when Crime and Shame had that song? Remember, they were all lurking. All of them. Even though some of you may have thought, they're not there, they're not paying attention, they're not, oh yes, they are, all of them. That's why they called in, or that's why they're chatting finally on that show. If you go back at the screenshots, that Malaya sent Belinda. Now listen to this.
You will find the time of when Malaya told Belinda what time she called the 911.
What were you gonna say? The time of when Malaya saw? What did Malaya see?
It's all in her message.
That is such a good point, Ratchet. There's supposed to be mourning, looking for children, not stalking podcasts. But you don't look for something when you know where it is. And I honestly believe that neither Daniel or Malaya both know the kids are not coming back. That's my opinion, right? But yeah, they're stalking podcasts. Daniel especially trying to figure out how he can look good. Has his mom helping him? We need of course he tried to help Durwood and that backfired big time on him, didn't it? And what else? We had that's basically, Logan talked a little bit, then she shut up. So he's trying to do everything that he can do, right? Yeah, their behavior is extremely suspicious, for sure. Yeah, if the vehicle's left outside, heck, I was parking my car in my garage, and overnight a mouse built a nest in the air filter of my car. Overnight, literally overnight. It was awful. Hi, Lucid. Good to see you. They absolutely have exposed themselves. An innocent person really doesn't care out there, right? They're not even paying attention to YouTube. They are out there, mainstream media, making sure that their child's face is out there. They're putting up posters everywhere that they can, right? Yeah, she is digging herself into a big pothole. She sure is. Hello, Drippy. Good to see you. Yeah, definitely. And Daniel went quiet for a little while, but then he spoke up again, didn't he? He cannot help himself. He just can't. Can't help himself. He said he hopped into Malaya's, but I don't know if that's true. Hello, Troodles. Good to see you. Loose lip sink ships. These people are digging themselves deeper and deeper. Yes, they are. It's getting pretty deep. We're gonna have to put on our waders pretty soon to get through the poopy, for lack of a better word. I just can't imagine how bad things must be for them to let it go this long. Yeah. Yeah. Daniel is especially watching because he is putting in all kinds of water references and getting off on people taking the bait. So, Drippy, here's my thought. You don't believe that the children are in the water? Waist deep in the beer. You're right, Ratchet. You're right. You're right. We need our waders out because it's getting pretty deep. All right, let's continue on.
messages to Belinda. No, Daniel did not drive the ATV.
Again, that is her highly sensitive area. Why is it so important? You already told us. So if somebody asks again, why are you getting back into it?
I told you it was Justin and I that were out on the bike all day. We picked Daniel up on the pipeline on an old road. Justin and I went up the pipeline and we went off on an old road and we found Daniel there. We picked Daniel up.
You found Daniel there, right? Well, you knew where he was. You knew where he was going to do, where he was going to go. He told you, I have to make sure I didn't drop anything at night that I couldn't see. Maybe he dropped something else when he had to get off the bike, and maybe one of the kids slipped off the bike and the footprint was created. Who knows? These are possibilities that we need to consider, because when we are going to get more statements that are significant, they may lead us right there to what actually took place. We picked Daniel up, yes.
Daniel was sitting on the front of the bike. Is that
Okay. All of you ATVers, four-wheelers, quad riders, whatever you call it, bikes. Do you ever ride with anyone on the front of your quad? That is so dangerous. Quicksand. That's a good point. He's not going to be able to dig himself out now at all. Didn't they say his friends were waiting for him? I thought that's what she says. She's still going to get to it yet, I believe. That she said she dropped him off where his friends were. That's a lot of weight, yes. And someone being on the front, that is dangerous. Very dangerous. No, never. Yeah, see? You have? Wow. Well, I mean, so would a river or lake. Don't you think that'd be quicker? River, they get caught on things. A lake, they'll rise to the surface. Yeah. I don't think that they meant quicksand just in the fact of talking about how deep Daniel is, not in the fact that you have quicksand in Nova Scotia. I don't know if you do, but at the Bay of Fundy, after the tides go out, there was a young man about a month ago who got stuck in it and had to be rescued by the fire department. Ouch. Gotcha. Just like when camping and stuff, as you drive back to site, you see a pail and pick them up. Gotcha. You know, probably those kind of friends that like to do arithmetic, I'm sure. Isn't the Vor muddy and sinking? There are a lot of peat bogs close by too. Once down, you're done. Oh, that sounds scary. I think that would be worse than drowning, Osprey. I'm afraid of drowning. I have seen videos, Seawood. It's amazing. Um, it, I know everybody talks a lot about the ATV being so clean. Guys, whenever I went out, we had a group of people that we went four-wheeling with. All of us, we get back to the cabin, even though we were going to go out the next day, we all washed our ATVs before we went to bed that night. We took turns like washing. We all washed her because you don't want the mud to get up there and, you know. Queen of Asian, hello, hello. I think something happened. They panicked because they already had a CPS complaint. They're afraid of losing Meadow, all of the above. That's what I think. Abandoned mine shaft filled with water. Possibility too, isn't it? I've known a few people who lost cars in the Bay of Fundy. They parked and got stuck, so had to abandon the car when the tide came in. Why would you drive your car out there? Oh, how dumb. Right? Because it's muddy. I mean, you're taking you're taking a risk just walking out there in the mud. Why would you take your car? Used to go clamming on those mud flats too, no issues. See their boots and shoes sparkling clean. Yeah. Because we are from Nova Scotia and there are a lot of hold my beer moments. You guys, they fixed the HEV when Daniel found his stapler. That's why Janie won't let him drive it. He stapled all the hoses together. Oh, man. She could have went to family CPS, wouldn't have taken them. We don't know what the last open case was for. You really think they're close? It was the biggest search in the history of Nova Scotia. You really think they missed something? I don't know. I have a hard time thinking that. Duct tape. That would work better than a stapler. Fix those hoses with duct tape. Why not? You got swings that you fix with duct tape. You might as well. ATVs for the chickens to ride on only. Oh, you do think that? Okay. So you think that they missed something, Seawood? Biggest search in Nova Scotia history, but it is super rare for this kind of thing to happen, so that isn't saying a lot. They didn't really search that far from the home. But do you honestly believe that the children would have been able to get over that brush and those logs and everything? Come on, they were only little babies. Well, yeah, they were looking for I'm missing your point, Seawood. That's what they were out there for, were the kids. So what would you wanted them to look for? Oh, I see what you're saying. They searched as far as the kids would go on foot, not as far as an adult with a vehicle could go to dispose of remains. I see what you're saying. Oh, yeah, I don't believe that either. I have never believed that because that terrain, there's no way, right? Bernice, you don't think they're close? Gotcha. I think of the Watts girls and wonder if the person dropped these two kids in something similar to tanks. I don't know. I think Danzo's so arrogant he has his eyes on the spot. They must have a false moss stick. Drop stuff into dogs would smell dead chickens, maybe. I don't know. Yeah. So I think we're all in agreement that the kids never left on their own. They never went into those woods on their own. But you guys do think that the ATV took them somewhere. Exactly, Sharon. Yeah. To prevent the mud or bog from drying up around the gears. Exactly. Mud does a lot of damage to an ATV. We always cleaned it. Every time we used it, it was cleaned before we put it away. The RCMP could possibly have a ton of circumstantial evidence, but not the hard evidence. Well, we don't know what they have. That's the point, Ariel. Well, we know they were at least as far as that bridge because they found a star, metallic star. I agree, trees. They need to just tell the truth and be done with it. The longer it goes on, the worse it's going to be for them, honestly. Yeah, I agree, Drippy. Definitely didn't go alone into the bush. And Mr. Hemme, you're thinking of a car. Gotcha. Or an old well from an old farm. Well, they stayed up all night. They probably washed them. And Janie was raking. They had the whole family out there. Guys, honestly, Mike thinks that Daniel's friends helped. We don't know, right? I think there's more than just those three that know what happened. Was Earl involved? I mean, I don't know. Well, what were all those vehicles doing then, Rob? I mean, why did they need all those vehicles? Yeah, that's what I was going to say, Seawood. Drippy, exactly. They did check wells and mines, and they said they were going to go out and do more mines. Right, as far as the kids, yeah. And they didn't have jackets on. And Ginger thinks they left in a car as well. And we know there were cars there between 12 and 5, so I would tend to agree. Why was Justin? That's the $1,000,000 question, isn't it? Why was Justin so upset? What happened? I think only those that are incriminated in the act know, otherwise someone would have ratted for the reward. I agree with you. It's the same thing as in the Sebastian Rogers case. We think family is involved, and it's a $500,000 reward out for Sebastian. You know, they haven't collected it yet. What vehicles were there in the drone footage the day the media was there? I don't know. Don't know. My opinion, it was Daniel, and Janie knows. No way her dog was quiet with a car coming and going. And she was raking up tire tracks, in my opinion. Yeah, Malaya's car was probably there if it was Friday. She left Saturday, didn't she? There was a rumor at one time that he no longer had his dog. Does anybody know if I don't know. You're still going with the possible dog attack? We discussed that a while back, but we didn't know. We haven't, I mean, it's a possibility that's out there, right? But we haven't really, taken it too seriously because, I don't know. 2 children, there'd be a lot of blood. You know what I'm saying? And then wouldn't you think the dogs would smell that? So I don't know if I don't know if that's a reality, right? Because the dogs went through there. So the dogs would be able to, pick up on that if there was a bad attack. I think that would have left evidence, yeah. And when you think of, I've been trying to make myself stick with the Occam's razor thing because, guys, if there's several possibilities, you have to kind of go with the most sensible because that's usually what it turns out to be. So when faced with 2 equally good hypotheses, always choose the simpler. So the dog attack would be, I think, on the left side because there'd be way too much cleanup. So then that's why I'm back with something happened and then they took the kids away. Right, Sue? I know. It's what we all do, right? Because it's hard to fathom what these kids just didn't go poof. Right? So it's hard to fathom what could have happened to these children. Well, according to Janie, it was because she was so upset, but who knows? She was upset about what? Something happened at the pipeline? Is that the reason they went back out there? I mean, they went back out there, guys, where the blueprint was. I think someone lost control. One child was a witness, so both had to go. You know, it would make sense to me. I haven't wanted to think that Daniel would have harmed these children. I've always leaned on it was something accidental, like a chemical overdose or a drug overdose, something like that. Because they'll share, you know. If they had gummies, right? And kids will share, right? But if we're looking at Daniel did something, we know that he was always throwing his boots at Daniel. Did he do something? Well, you know, Lily's going to start screaming. So then, got to shut her up. I mean, I don't know. All speculation, guys. Remember that. Nothing is fact here. See, when someone asked me about a dead dog by ATV trail, asked me if it was a Mackenzie dog. I don't know why I was asked. Anyway, oh. That's interesting. What makes sense in this case? I don't know, Casey, you tell me. The only thing I really, really believe in my heart is that the kids are gone. They're no longer on this earth. And that Daniel and possibly other people took them away. I lean toward water, the ocean, but a lot of people disagree with me, and that's okay. I'm thinking Malaya's friends took them in a car. I honestly believe if she was speaking, she would incriminate herself more than Daniel has been. I think she would too. But here's my thought. If her friends had taken them, we're 3 months in, guys. That's a long time to be putting up with children who are not yours. And you're in danger constantly of being caught, because if you're caught, you're going to jail. So I just don't go with that for that reason. Just really don't. But, you know, you're entitled to your opinion. And could I be wrong? I could be wrong, right? I could be. I would love, honestly, guys, I would love nothing more than for these kids to be alive and found alive and someone was hiding them. But the more time that goes by, I really, really don't think that's the case. And you'll never get me to believe that they're on the reservation. They wouldn't do that. The First Nation people, they just would not do that. You know, RCMP has a base on the reservation as well. So they work together, guys. So I just really don't believe they would do that. Yeah. Well, I don't call it poking holes. That's why I like to listen to Deception Detective and Mike Demand, because they're looking at statement analysis. They're looking at leakage. They're looking at, because they learn for this, right? So they're looking at their statements and seeing, things that we might not ordinarily see if we're not trained in that. But we've done this so much here at Granny's Crime Busters that I feel like we're really good at picking it apart and picking up the leaking points. I don't believe in my heart. I'm not even going to say in my heart. I don't believe that Daniel is doing these water references on purpose. I think he can't help himself. It's experiential memory coming through, and it's a known fact. It is a known fact. He cannot lie because he can't remember his lies. And when you try to remember, there's pauses, or you'll start to say something and then stop because you're going off experiential memory again, and you don't want to say that. And yeah, there's so much to it. You think something messy happened at the pipeline? I don't know. Oh, when her son was crying, it was because Janie was upset for blaming herself. Gotcha. But I thought that Justin wasn't there when Janie was crying. Somebody told me that Justin wasn't there. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm going to say I agree with you 100%, but I'm going to add to it. I think the family, there's, yeah, just something not right there. I can't help it. I mean, have you seen the video of Earl? Yeah, was it Belinda that said Janie wasn't around when Justin was crying? Hello, Nanya. Aw, thank you, sweetie. Thank you so much. So I took a day off, and I might take off more because my refrigerator went, guys. And so had some cleanup that I had to do, and I'm waiting on a new one. It's going to come today, and it's not going to be here till Thursday. So you're right, Drippy. We're talking about the same personality who is toying with the public in chats. Who does that? I agree. I agree. It doesn't make sense. 2 little ones and only 1 print at the pipeline and driveway. I agree. I think that's all planted as well. If you're gonna, I mean, come on. You don't just put 1 boot print. That was pretty stupid in my opinion. But then you gotta look at the source, right? They all went off searching before the oh, I know. Yep, I agree. I agree. I believe in my heart the reason the kids are gone is because Malaya and Daniel just covered it up. Yeah. I will even give Malaya the fact that she may not even know where he put the kids, but I do believe she knows they are gone. I agree with you, Trees, that you wouldn't think that they would leave the dog there. I think they'd bury it somewhere, wouldn't you? I don't know. Praying for some type of break in this case, but I'm afraid this will fall through the cracks. I don't think it's going to fall through the cracks people aren't giving up. People are not giving up. Oh yeah, paranoid, defensive, absolutely. Absolutely, I agree. I think both did it or Dee did it and somehow got it by Malaya, but I am leaning more to both involved. Yeah. They wanted everyone to think they were looking. Yeah, they did. If you believe the children are in more danger being apprehended by the system, 3 months is a drop in the bucket. Yeah, I mean, I guess it depends on the way you look at it, right? 3 months of your life, you're caught, you're going to jail for a long, long time. Hello, BBB. Yeah, I agree. They're not on the reserve. Yes. They did say seasoned detectives are working this. I agree with you. In the beginning, I thought maybe it was because of DV, but I honestly believe she knows what happened to those kids. Yeah. Makes no sense at all. Um, oh, that's cool. That's very cool. Paint a rock to put at one of the public beaches. Yeah, that's a good idea. Hi, Valerie. You don't search for something when you know where it is. You don't believe it was a dog attack either? Yeah. Yeah, he tried. He tried. There's a vehicle going in and out of that driveway. Everyone on the property heard it. Even neighbors heard it, so they all know. Absolutely. Um, now somebody could be pulling in my driveway. I wouldn't know because when I have my hearing aid out, I don't hear nothing. I guess I shouldn't say that because Lacey would let me know. Hello, JDR. Good to see you. Hello, Kate. That was probably me. I gifted 5 tonight. Yeah, absolutely. They all know what happened. I believe that. They all know what happened for sure. Guys, get up to 3 more likes and we will do some toe tapping. All right, so let's go back to.
So there was Justin, me, and Daniel on the bike, and we drove Daniel back to.
Uh-oh. There we go. Uh-oh, spaghetti-o.
So there was Justin, me, and Daniel on the bike.
Did he just say, uh-oh, SpaghettiOs? Did he really say that? Oh my gosh. Yes, we did see that. Yeah, he's making assumptions in some of it, right? But I agree. What was said that put Malaya in that ambulance? Uh-oh. SpaghettiOs. He did say that. Okay.
There was Justin, me, and Daniel. She's okay. And
we drove Daniel back.
we drove so you drove Justin back somewhere? When?
To his friends that were on the pipeline, and Justin and I.
Interesting, right? Daniel and his friends were by the pipeline. Was Jordan there?
There you go, guys. Daniel and his friends were on the pipeline. What were they doing there? Mike brings up a really good point. What were Daniel and his friends doing on the pipeline? Absolutely, JDR. He's scared. He's running scared. I think he knows we're on to him. Right? And if we're on to him, law enforcement is so on to him. Yeah, when they get caught, it's going to be worse for them instead of coming out. You don't think his friends knew anything? That's a possibility. They might have been getting elevated. Yeah. There's no Amber Alert because there's no abduction trees. And they publicly said, if it's ever an abduction, if the investigation ever provides evidence that there's an abduction, they will have no problem putting out an Amber Alert. It has never come to that. Riddle me this, Daniel, right? They were there hiding their stash and equipment on the pipeline. Now, somebody said those kids could have been in the pipe. Is that even possible? I didn't realize there were places where the pipe is open. That wouldn't make sense to me, guys. Hello, Brian. Right. And that's what he's talking about, that he and his friends were there because Mike is thinking that Daniel went through there with the kids and he thinks he may have dropped something. Right? Right, Valerie? I agree with you. At this point, nothing would surprise me. Well, isn't it the natural gas pipeline that's going through? Exactly. Pressurized gas in those lines. That's why when somebody mentioned that a while back, I was like, how could that even be possible? I mean, right? Because pressurized gas going through there, I don't think that would work. Hello, 007. Yeah, okay. That's what I thought. Well, hello, RR. Do we know there wasn't? I don't know that anyone has ever said that there were no quad tracks, and that wouldn't be unusual, right? Because back then the forest was open. Right now it's not, but back then people could come and go on the pipeline and not be a problem. So I've never heard anybody say that there were no quad tracks there. Okay, Brenda Joe. Bye-bye. You would think the pipeline builders would have more trail cams. It was at night. We think so things may have gotten difficult disposing of evidence. Well, and I mean, I can see where Mike Demand is coming from when he says if Daniel went through there and thought that he dropped something, he's going to go back and check it out. Makes sense to me, but I just has Mike Demand ever talked about the car in the middle of the night? Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing, Drippy. Yeah, I agree, JDR. I agree. And the water drainage pipes are usually in the culverts and or under bridges, things like that. And that's not called the pipeline. The pipeline is with the pressurized gas. Some people just get all that confused. The company flies drones along the lines regularly. Interesting. No, not on the pipeline. She was in her driveway, which is enough because it was dark outside and it was raining and she's raking. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, right? I mean, come on. She's 60. I'm 66, going to be 67 this year. No freaking way would I be out in the rain in the dark trying to rake. No. Makes no sense. I agree with you, Toodles. Someone always knows something. Yeah, they're not going to get away with it forever. They could have put them in any of the bogs. That's sad. Because then you can't get them out, right? Isn't that what you guys are telling me? It's like quicksand. Once you're in there, you're done. It is thick brush, but an ATV could go through it. That's a good point, Casey. Daniel never mentioned searching the pipeline. Janie's the one that brought it up. That's a really good point. That's a really good point. Janie's the only one that brought up the pipeline, and she picked up Daniel and brought him to where his friends were on the pipeline. You know, I understand why Mike is going here, because that's all very suspicious in my opinion. Yeah. He said, "I did the streams, the culverts, and the old roads," he said. I guess I am, Brian. You're 66. Gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah, raking for a pool, she never well, I guess she has the pool, and the ladder was laying in the yard, but I think that was just a ruse, right? Because you're not gonna put the pool on gravel. I'm 53 and feel 66. Oh, I'm sorry, Drippy. A lot of cases with far more evidence goes unsolved. Here's the thing, RR, we don't know what evidence they have. I'm just saying. They're not saying. We know they have both pieces of the blanket and they're having that tested, but they're not telling us if they got any other evidence. You know, they may have the backpack for all we know. They haven't said anything. Yeah, and it was raining that night. Yeah, but they've checked the mines. And the ones that they haven't checked, they were going back to do. So, and they're not telling us when they're out there. You're 67. You go out at night around my street with my cat. Lots of street lights. Oh, wow. I live in the city, so I wouldn't be going out at night. Got it from Mike. Gotcha. Yeah. With those 800 tasks. Yeah. I wonder how far they've gotten. That's a lot of tasks. And when you think about it, each task could turn into more tasks, because if it leads to something else and they have to figure that out, I don't know. Yeah, he sure isn't. He just keeps going and going and going like the Energizer Bunny. He doesn't quit. Brian, you're 62. NYC, you're 69. You can get dead people out of a bog using heavy equipment. They are always finding cows, sheep, people in the Irish bogs. Usually well preserved too. Ah, but they're gone, right? I mean, they're not. Yuck. That's gross. Yep. She lied. She first told Belinda that she was filling potholes, and then when she went on TV, she was raking for the pool. They got the computer out of Daniel's car. Could be. Could be. I would put a pool on gravel when they have the grass lawn, right? Yeah. Daniel's weird about the blanket too. First said not theirs, then said it was. Yeah. And when he found the other half supposedly in the trash, he had his brother help him videotape that he was taking it out of the trash. Why would you do that? Because you're paranoid. Paranoid rug addict. It feels good to be in this before 60s and beyond group. Usually I'm the oldest person. I have noticed that we seem to be picking people in the older group, and that's okay with me. Guys, we have all the experience, right? We do. With age comes experience. You know. They could get really far really fast if they took the pipeline that goes all the way to New Brunswick. Yeah. Does it go north to the ocean? Or east to the ocean? The missing sweaters of Daniel were deemed not missing now. Is that correct? I don't know. I haven't heard that. First it was sweaters, then it was t-shirts. So what is it? And I thought they were still missing. Exactly, Sharon. If we can see the lies and the inconsistencies from the start, I'm sure that the RCMP would have more. Absolutely. They have a division just for that, and that division is working this case. So yeah, and some of the property picks are a few plastic bins full of rocks. Yeah. And we know he didn't throw it out weeks beforehand because it was hanging on the window on the 2nd, and then it wasn't days later. Yep. Yep. Oh, and here's the thing. So it was hanging on the window on the 2nd. Then that piece that was torn off of it and was found, I think that was a Monday? Obviously planted. Right? Because the 2nd was after the kids were reported. The 2nd was the day they were reported missing. So that piece, wow. Good catch, 007. Looks to me like they dug out a lot of earth to put the RV in there. I can picture them saving rocks to build something with them. I think they saved just about everything. Looks of it. Yes, trees, life experience for sure. No, they were probably removing their stashed equipment. That's probably where they make their. Could be. Yeah. So, Rob, I'm going to ask you a question. Do you believe he passed it? I know he said he did. Oh, wow. The tannins, acids, and low oxygen mummified them. Oh, man. Wow. Oh, I believe they are, Kate. I believe that with all my heart. I really do. Well, yeah, I had believed that it was planted, but now that's almost like actual proof. If it was on the window on the 2nd, then you know that it was planted, right? That's almost like actual proof that it was planted. You know, I think what he's talking about, I think he's doing that to trip people up. I think what he's talking about is there was a piece off of that blanket on the tree, and then there was a blanket that he videotaped himself pulling out of the trash. That's 2 pieces of the same blanket that they took for forensic analysis. But if he said 2 blankets, I think he's just saying that to throw people off. Yeah, I agree. I agree. You don't believe he passed it either. Yeah. He could have passed it because I think he writes history in his head. No, he's not a good liar, Drippy. There's no way he passed it. Yeah, I did see that picture. Yeah. He said the first was, "Did you?" Yeah. Absolutely not, they don't, right? They do not. They set it up with, asking you simple questions to get, what it looks like your baseline for the truth, and then they want you to tell a lie to get the baseline for the fact that you're lying. Yeah, so much more to that than what he even said. So he even lied about the polygraph question. They would call you grandma. That's so cute. That's cute. I think so too. But I mean, I don't think I don't know. I don't know. Did they use that blanket to lay the kids down in a vehicle or on the ATV, whichever? Yeah, he thinks he fooled them trees. Yeah, I saw it. Oh, no, he thinks. Here's what I think. They didn't give him results, but he knows that he told a few truths. So I think in his mind, he got more truths than he got wrong, and so that means he passed it, meaning it worked in his favor. 'Cause he's thinking that if he got more right than he got wrong, that he passed it, but that's not the point. If you pass it, you haven't told a lie at all. you see what I'm saying? That's what I think he's thinking. And come on, he's not very smart. That's what I think he's thinking. I think he thinks that he got 6 right and 4 wrong. Right? Because he saw it go crazy on the 4. So he it was in his favor. That's not the way they work. Yeah, he was sure that because he said if those shirts show up, Malaya tried to frame me. Yeah. Oh my gosh. No, you know what you guys need? You need scooters. If you want to know about scooters, oh my gosh. Yeah. You'd have to go watch the members only video about my Vegas trip. My understanding of the lie detectors test, especially asking Daniel to take 3 of them, my opinion is that his tests were inconclusive and probably due to the amount of drugs in his system. Yeah. Well, we don't know if they had him take 3. He said he had to take 3. No one said he was smart. Right, Allie. There's no openings. Yep. Daniel thinks if you get more right than wrong, you pass the test. It doesn't work like that. Yes, absolutely. And he calls it plaids, but it's plaids. I don't know why he calls it plaids. But yeah. I don't think he took 3. I think he did 1, but was talking about the pre-test, the test, and the after test. Yeah, you're right. Because they do break it up into 3 different pieces. 3 different pieces. Hi, Michelle. They have swamps, yeah, bogs, like, from what I'm hearing, that can mummify a person. That's kind of scary. So my question to you guys, Plaids was already taken, so he says it differently. That doesn't surprise me with Mike. So my question to you guys, with bogs, if you're out in the woods and you're walking, do you know that you're walking into a bog? Is it easy to tell that it's a bog? That's my question. We have no bog mummies in Nova Scotia to date. So can you tell it's a bog? Am I making you laugh, Casey? Oh, goodness. Hey, guys, it's time for some toe tapping. All right. Let's do some toe tapping here.
On Granny's porch, the sun sets low. With a steaming cup, she steals the show. Neighbors gather round, hearts in blue, for that smoking hot tea and the latest room. Whispers of love, tales of the town. In her sweet voice, no secrets drowned. With laughter and stories, the evening flies. Granny's hot tea brings the world to life. Whispers of love, tales of the town. In her sweet voice, no secrets drowned. With laughter and stories, the evening flies. Granny's hot tea brings the world to life. Yet in whispers of love, tales of the town. In her sweet voice, no secrets drowned. With laughter and stories, the evening flies. Granny's hot tea brings the world to life.
So yes, you can tell it's a bug. Okay, gotcha. And when you walk in the forest, always have a heavy, thick walking stick. Well, we don't have bogs here in Wisconsin. We do have swamps, but they're not. They don't take you down, right? You just got to wear your waders. Trying to find MG moonwalk emoji. I know I can tell if I'm walking into a bog. It's really soggy and your feet start to sink. That's when I turn away from it to walk on solid land. Gotcha. Stuck in Halifax with the Air Canada flight staff on strike. Wow. That's crazy. Yeah. Well, Daniel needs to have enough pressure on him to tell the truth so that he can take us right to where they are. In case you wouldn't you want a pew pew for that? It's boggy, not soggy. Yeah. The swamps here in Wisconsin are soggy. They don't eat you. Oh, wow. Well, should we listen to a little bit more of Mike and see what he's got to say here?
Darren there? Who all was there? And why were they there? Didn't they wonder why they have to be back at the pipeline? You picked him up from the pipeline and you dropped him back off at the pipeline. And you're trying to tell me you didn't tell them that you may have dropped or may have... Darren knows what happened. Remember the analysis of the statement from May 6th. He knew. They were all searching for anything that could incriminate. They all have similar hobbies. And at least some of them really don't like police at all. And they stick together against their enemy. So you may wonder, how can this be so many people? How can you keep a secret? No, that's a very secretive society up there. In these kind of so-called cultures. Right? The mathematicians. No, I'm not saying Darren is one. I'm not saying that, but well, allegedly there could be some among the people that were there at the pipeline.
He's thinking Durwood and his son were there. Interesting. Yeah, but in South Carolina, don't you have crocs and alligators? We don't have them in Wisconsin. I would not want them. Oh, oh yeah. Yuck. And you're not allowed to pew them, huh? That sucks. Hobbies or addictions, yeah. Not in your section? Well, that's good. I freaked out. I went on a road trip with my husband in the semi, and trying to remember where we were. What state we were in. It was in the South, but I don't, when you're in a semi, everything looks the same because you're on a freeway. But it was in the South, and we pulled into a truck stop, and he said, I don't know if he was trying to scare me or what, but he goes, when you get out, watch where you're walking, just what, look. I said, why? He said, just look where you're walking. I said, okay. So I got out and I kind of was looking around, because you're coming down kind of, you're backwards, right? But not even, I want to say, not even 10 feet away from where he parked, there was a swamp. And there was an alligator just sitting there, right on the side of that swamp. I'm like, get me out of here. I'm not staying here. I am not staying here. He wanted to spend the night there. I'm like, no, get me out of here. Because all I could think about was that thing. If I had to get up and go to the bathroom or something, and that thing is right below my feet when I come down off that truck, no. Snakes, yes. Snakes, yes. You have rabbits and gophers. Run. Run, yes. Absolutely run. So you can see them sometimes here at night. When I had my dog, I wouldn't let her out by herself. Yes. Yep. Yeah, I can't imagine anything worse than an alligator or crocodile. All right, let's continue on.
Say it like that. All of them at the pipeline. They didn't leave that area. They didn't go spread out into the woods to look for Jack and Lily. They were stuck on that damn pipeline because that's where they were worried something's going to be found.
I can back home. Well, if you know what a four-wheeler is, it's only
Come on, girl.
big enough for two people. Justin was driving. I was sitting on the back. So, we made Daniel sit on the front because there was no room for him to sit on the back with me. Okay, no problem. I'm sorry, people, but I do not accept friends' requests. so please don't send them to me. Is there anything else you want me to clear up? Because I'm going to bed soon. So if you got any questions, ask them now. Okay, I already answered this question. My brother called me at 8:40.
So what? You answer the same questions all the damn time. And you repeat even answers when they're not being asked more than once, when the questions are not asked more than once. And that's interesting too. About my brother called me at 8:48. Interesting, actually. Now revisiting this, it becomes more interesting.
He ate and asked me if I wanted to go to town. I said no.
Is that why he called?
I was going back to bed, so I laid back down. I was playing on Facebook. I dozed off. I'm not sure what exactly time. I didn't look at the clock.
I'm not sure what exactly time. Also wrong structure. It's easier.
We have boxes in Wisconsin.
But one word we use, bamboozle it or mess it up. And when it's a lie, it's harder to keep a sentence straight. Let me say it like that. And keep the sentence correct. I'm not sure what exactly. There are many things. Where would you go from I'm not sure what exactly I should say? Is that what's coming to your mind? And you're changing it to time? What exact time? Okay, I didn't look at the clock. Got it.
My dog woke me up. I heard the kids outside.
Right.
And then I dozed back off.
And that script they got down. I believe Janie, Malaya, and Daniel, when they came together, they got that script down good.
Again, and the next thing you know, I heard Daniel holler.
Next thing you know, yeah, a lot happened in between that. And she was awake for all of it. But it happened the night before that Jack and Lily, were taken, were moved, were transported.
Jack and Lily.
I agree. And I agree that Daniel, Janie, and Malaya got their script down. I believe 100%. Two porcupines. Oh man, no thank you. Get everything out here. I'm on acreage in the middle of nowhere, Alberta. I watch Mama try to teach her babies how to catch butch birds in my long grass. Aw. Porcupines. Crazy. I think we have fox here. Skunks. I hate skunks. Ugh. We have a lot of skunks in Wisconsin. Lots of rabid skunks in Wisconsin. So what Mike DeMann is saying is that he believes Daniel and his friends, and possibly, I'm surprised he said it, Durwood's son, out of the pipeline. Here's the thing. I remember back when Durwood started speaking, when we were listening right at the beginning. He said that he had heard, yeah, we have cheese too. Yes, we do. He said that he had heard of the kids who were missing, but he didn't even know those kids were related to him. And it wasn't until he realized that he was related to Malaya that he inserted himself into the situation. So that was already after they were missing. Now, I know that we don't believe what Durwood said when he came out with his scenario, right? So do we believe him that he didn't know about it in the beginning? I don't know. Yeah, Wisconsin cheese is good. Wisconsin cheese is yummy. Cheese curds. Oh my goodness. Love cheese curds. When we were listening, yeah. I mean, right, Drippy? I mean, there came a point in time when we just tuned Durwood off, right? It's like, yeah, you're lying. I'm not going to listen to you anymore. Yeah, or smelt one. I haven't smelt one yet this year. That's unusual. It was. I stopped doing the Durwood song. And I'm just going to leave it there. You're known for cheese curds, St. Albert. Gotcha. Canadian magic. Aw, poor little dog. Yeah, in Wisconsin here, they like to get under porches, and my grandma had an old shed out her back door. And yeah, I mean, you know, it was kind of makeshift, but there were boards on for the flooring. But they would get underneath there, and they'd have their babies under there. Oh, and that walk out the back door, and you could just smell it. Hello, Faye. I'm not getting worried. And the reason that I say that is because they told us they had 700 tips now, and they're following every lead, guys. They have 800 tasks. And those tasks, you know, as they're following it through, could lead to other tasks. That's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. And they're dotting their I's, they're crossing their T's because they want a conviction. So it takes a while. We have to be patient. Mike talked a lot about Janie's dog today. Yeah. I don't know. Poutine? Are those cheese curds? What is poutine? Yeah, I seriously, guys, I'm not worried. What I know that they're also hoping to find the bodies, right? They want Jack and Lily. 'Cause that's the easiest way to get a conviction, but people in the know need to speak. It's only gonna be worse for them if they don't. Yeah, I wish I knew where Justin's dog was. What is poutine, guys? Fries with gravy and cheese curds on top? That sounds horrible. Fries, gravy, and cheese curds. That sounds terrible. I'm gonna look it up, you know that I am. Yeah, if you guys know me from Sebastian's case, when Katie Proudfoot said, "We got up that morning and we made spaghetti pancakes. Google it, y'all." Well, I did. I Googled it. So now I gotta Google. Everybody, you guys like the hot gravy melts the cheese, but I don't like gravy on my French fries. What kind of gravy? Well, we don't have alligators in Wisconsin. We have skunks, but I was talking about alligators in the South. Well, you know, probably, right? Uh, you can even buy poutine at McDonald's. Is it like a dark brown gravy? What is it? Is it a light gravy? Is it a milk gravy? What I like it with bacon on top. You're really talking about clogging your arteries. Beef gravy. The sauce spoon. Some folks put pulled pork on it too, with ketchup on your poutine. I didn't like poutine when I first came to Canada. Spaghetti pancakes, not too healthy. Spaghetti pancakes is just pancake batter made to look like spaghetti. I will never put ketchup on my poutine. See, I want ketchup with my fries. I don't want gravy, so I don't think I'd like it. It is a medium thick brown gravy. Oh, it's the darkest brown gravy. It's like a beef gravy. Everybody loves it. What trees? Ah, what are beaver tails? I'm right there with you, JDR, and I haven't even tried it yet. Hello, Carrie D. Ketchup is great on poutine. People have created hundreds of different versions. Am I saying it right, guys? Poutine. Hi, Allie. Ketchup on everything, Granny. Yeah. Yeah, I'm a ketchup person. I love ketchup. But I don't put ketchup on my eggs, though. No. They don't. No. A peppery brown gravy. See, fried dough. Oh, fried dough I could get into. What did you oh, and Nutella? Oh, why Nutella? Quebecer put mayo on their french fries. A lot of people here in Wisconsin put ranch dressing on their french fries. I'm saying poutine correctly. Good. Um, Powdered sugar and fruits, but not Nutella. No. Hello, rosebuds. What's Rappy Pie? Yes, I agree with you. 100%. Yeah, yeah. Brenda Jo put ketchup on her eggs. I think she left though. I can't. I just can't. No. I like ketchup on my fries. Meatloaf. What else? I mean, hamburgers, hot dogs, right? Mix mayo and ketchup to dip your fries in. It's a French mince meat pie that tastes sweet. We don't know. Casey, we do not know what happened to Justin's dog. You put ketchup on your eggs, Rob? Yuck. Putin. Gotcha. What are prairie oysters? Am I, should I be asking? I'm kind of afraid. Canned tomatoes with eggs fried, of course. No. I love both those things, but I wouldn't want them together. Somebody said he doesn't have his dog anymore. I don't know if that's true or not. Molasses and peanut butter sandwich. Your son puts mustard on his eggs? Oh, no. D. Seriously? You're pulling my leg, aren't you? Now, first of all, why would anybody do that to the bull? You guys. Dip your toast in peanut butter and maple syrup. Really, I know neither would I. Yuck. I mean, that's no. No. Unfortunately, Gary D is serious. That's awful. That is terrible. Why did they do that to the poor bull? Just no. I can't even think about it, honestly. Almond butter. Oh, I'll bet almond butter is really good. Yeah, me too. When we heard the definition of a prairie oyster, and we are saying no to balls, just saying yuck. Ooh, yuck. I could not. Vinegar or brown gravy with lots of salt in my fries. Yeah, I like lots of salt, but ketchup. Better for us seniors. My uncle used to have a nut butter store before he retired. What is HP, guys? What is HP sauce? Yeah, just looking at it wouldn't make me throw up, I think. And no care. I'm sorry, I couldn't eat that either. I just couldn't. There's no way. HP is steak sauce. Okay, well, steak sauce. I'll even do steak sauce on my fries. Oh, even cocktail sauce on my fries is good. A prairie oyster is a raw egg or the yolk of a raw egg, often mixed with seasoning, salt, pepper, Worcestershire sauce, and used as a hangover recipe. Okay, yeah, I've heard of that. I've never heard it called a prairie oyster. House of Parliament sauce. What are Donaires trees? Yeah. Nope. Nope. Me neither. Nothing goes to waste. Yeah. Well, it would in my household. That sounds really yummy, honestly. What are Donaires? You know what they sound like to me? Eclairs. Am I close? I'm serious. Am I close? Yes. Fish and chips with tartar sauce is good. A prairie oyster is a colloquial term for bull testicles, often deep fried. Like the Calgary Stampede, they're also known. Oh my God. No, thank you. A little spice bead on a pita type of bread with onion. Oh, that sounds good. That sounds really good. No, yuck, yuck, no. Although I will say this. At Thanksgiving, I would boil up the innards and put them in a grinder, get them really, really small, and I add them to my dressing for flavor. Yeah. That sounds really yummy. A pita style bread. Yeah, Donaires sounds really good. Let's get together for Donaires, guys. But the prairie oysters, keep them from me. Keep them far, far away. I didn't want to gross you out. Well, I'm grossed out already, so it wasn't you, Brian. I like the hearts better, yeah. Cod tongues are huge. I know organ meat is super healthy. The only way I'll ever eat the innards is in my turkey, like I said, in my dressing. Your mom, Joanne, always used to do that with your stuffing. Yeah. For a long time, she wouldn't tell us what she did. I don't know why. I'd love to go out mudding. I really would. I'd have the time of my life. I haven't gone mudding for years now, though. Fried liver with bacon and onions. I don't like fried liver, but I do like liverwurst with onion and mustard on a sandwich. No, 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 no. Onion gravy and mashed potatoes, yes, but not the pig's liver. Brian, you're hilarious. Yeah, me either. Not a fan of liver or veal, but like I said, I will, I like liverwurst. I don't know why. On a sandwich with a little bit of onion and mustard. I like that. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I love it. Yep. I love getting dirty. I love being out there. I love trying to four-wheel it through mud puddles, and I love doing that. Love it. You don't eat red meats, so you don't like steak. Interesting. I don't eat funny meat. What is funny meat trees? Moose is really good though if you cook it right. Um, there was a time for a while when, we didn't have a whole lot of money. And so my husband would get the extra doe deer tag, and so we had venison coming out of our ears, and I learned how to cook it to take away the wild taste. I really did. I learned how to mask that wild flavor. But after a while, it wasn't in the beginning, but after a while, it didn't agree with me. My stomach, oh man. So, not to mention, I got sick of venison pretty quick. He rolled in dirt. Oh, I hate that when my dog does stuff like that. You haven't been able to eat meat in years. Just, um, I could be a vegetarian pretty easily, but there are some meats that I just really do like, right? Um, but I mean, I could go without as well. So mashed potatoes, love them. Baked potatoes with the works on them, love them. I love most veggies, so I could be a vegetarian really easy. Moose isn't gamey like deer. Gotcha. Yeah, the deer, yeah. It didn't agree with me after a while. I'd end up in the bathroom bad. No, thank you, Joanne. No, thank you. Just knowing what they are, I couldn't do it. And Ginger likes buffalo burgers. How did we get into this food thing, guys? I have teeth. Are you asking me, Brian? I have teeth. I was veggie for 20 years. I even have my own teeth. Most of them. All right, Kirdy. Yeah, we're about ready to close it out here. Just want to make sure I'm not missing anything extremely important. It started with cheese curds. I think we were talking about what kind of animals we had in our area, and then somebody said, "But you have cheese curds," and that's where it started. Yes, it did, Drippy, right? You guys are funny. Um, so my grannyism for today is our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. And all those that have guilty knowledge of where Jack and Lily went, their lives began to end the day that they became silent about where Jack and Lily are. Can't eat meat. No worries. It was fun. It was fun. But no, you're not going to get me to eat prairie oysters. If I ever come to Canada, no, we're not. Just not going to happen. I'm sorry. Yes, secrets eat away at your soul. They absolutely do. They absolutely do. They're How did that go? Their lives began to end the day that they became silent. Because, if you think about it, think about the stress of knowing what happened to these kids and knowing that the RCMP is digging into it. Can you imagine that kind of stress, guys? Let's just say it this way, Casey. It's accelerating for them. We will find out. We will find out. Thanks for warning us about prairie. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for warning us about prairie oysters. We all know to stay away from them. Oh, guys. All right. Well, thank you for being here. We will see you tomorrow night. Have a wonderful night, guys. Thank you for watching another episode of Granny's Crime Busters. We really appreciate each and every one of you. Don't forget to subscribe and like and even share the content. You can follow us on any of our other social media platforms at YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. We really appreciate you guys, and you can also email us at granniescrimebusters@gmail.com. Thank you so much, and we will see you on the next one. Thanks, guys.